Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students of class ninth, as you know, we are dealing with a subject that is English, general English. And we are on the stories, short stories. We have the topic, our topic is, our short story is The Happy Prince. And the story is, gives us the awareness, makes us able to know the misery of the poor. Let us let us help the poor, let us be sympathetic towards the poor, towards the downtrodden people, and we must know their misery, their misery and the poverty. Just we realize after death. And we should not do this because here this story gives us the lesson about the poverty, about the thinking of the all humans. The discussion is between the swallow and the little bird swallow who is going to migrate from Egypt, and now his companions have gone. Now he has left behind, and he, after flying, he in a night he put up in a statue. Under a statue, the prince statue was made, and his statue was made up of the gold, the precious stones of the gold, that is ruby, and the spheres were, as his eyes were made up of spheres, and the ruby was put in his all that very body was made up of the ruby. Now the swallow who got the place under the feet of that very statue, the prince's statue, and suddenly he saw, without clouds, without the stars were shining in the sky, and he saw the drops of the water falling on him. And when he looked up, what did he say? "Who are you?" he said. "I am the happy prince." "Who are you?" Let us begin from this. "Who are you?" The swallow says, "Who are you?" He said, "I am the happy prince." And the statue itself is now talking to him, said to him in the reply that I am the happy prince. "Why are you weeping then? If you are the happy prince, then why are you weeping?" asked the swallow. "You have quite drenched me. You have made me wet. You have drenched me when I was alive and had a human heart." "And I was alive and had a human heart," answered the statue. Statue answered to the swallow, "I did not know what tears were. I did not know what tears were, because the prince, their look after is in a luxury mood, in a luxury life. They have the luxury life. They have the VIP life. There are so many servants for the princes, so they have never They have never wept. They do not know the feelings. They did not the poverty. They do not feel the any kind of thirst or hunger, or they do have the any demand, because everything was ready for the prince. So he doesn't know what is weeping, what is poverty, what is the feeling. "For I lived in the palace," because I was living in the palace, so I don't know the weeping. I don't know what does the tears mean. "Where sorrow is not allowed to enter, in the palaces, in the princely houses, with the princes and with the prince, the family of the kings, the family of the VIPs, the family of the high people, high stats of the people. They do there is not allowed, the sorrow is not allowed to enter in their home, so they don't have faced the sorrow any time. My courtiers called me the happy prince." My courtiers, those the members of the king, members of the servants of the king, or the officials of the king, they called him the happy prince. And happy indeed I was, and I was really happy. I don't have any kind of sorrow. I don't have any kind of thirst, any kind of hunger, any kind of demand. So I lived, and so I died. I lived happy, I died happy, and now I am now that I am dead. They have set me up here so high that I can see the ugliness and all the misery of my city. Now my courtiers, now my now my people has made my statue so high that up high that I can see, I can realize, I can know the ugliness, the ugliness and all the misery of my city. What my city, what the conditions of my city is, what the conditions of the people of my city is, how they are living, what is their livelihood. And though my heart is made up of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep. That I cannot, yet I cannot choose but wept. Now my heart has been made up of lead. That's a metal. My heart is made up of metal. It is not. Nah, it is not now the heart of that very human heart, which is made up of by the Almighty Allah, which is made up of the flesh. It is now made up of metal. It cannot melt. But I made up of lead, yet I cannot choose, but I weep. Now I am going to weep. What is he? What what is he not sold? It is not solid gold. Is it not your that very heart is not solid gold? It is not a solid gold, said the swallow to himself. He said to himself, he was too polite to make any personal remarks. He was so polite, he was so. Uh, that means he cannot understand the position of that very prince, and he cannot make the remarks about why the prince is weeping. Thank you for today's participation. Thank you, dear student.